All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about something that is fundamentally reshaping the 21st century, how China is systematically, and I mean systematically, rewiring its entire education system to win the global race for AI supremacy. And just to be clear, this isn't just about adding a few new classes. This is a full-blown national mission.
You know, it's the kind of question nations have been wrestling with forever. Is it all about military might? Is it economic dominance? Or maybe cultural influence? Well, in the age of AI, the answer might be found in a place you wouldn't expect.
And there it is. That's the punchline. China's entire strategy is a long game. It's a massive bet that the future of tech isn't just forged in some high-tech lab, but it's actually grown, cultivated right in elementary school classrooms, starting with 6-year-olds.
Okay, so let's really break this down. This is what we mean by a national mandate. It's a top-down, state-driven mission. The goal isn't just to have better schools. Nope. The goal is to secure a decisive, long-term technological edge over everyone else on the planet.
And at the absolute heart of all this is the AI education mandate. That's the key term here. This is a deliberate, methodical plan to transform the country's human capital into a massive engine for AI innovation. And the end game? It's simple. Build the biggest, most skilled AI workforce in the world, period.
And look, this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was built piece by piece on a clear policy foundation. Back in 2015, you have the Made in China 2025 plan, which basically created this huge hunger for industry for AI skills. Then in 2017 came the real starting gun, the next generation AI development plan. That's what made AI education mandatory for everyone. And since 2018, the Ministry of Education has been turning that plan into reality, making AI a core subject you have to take.
Okay, so you've got the policies in place, but how do you actually turn that into, people, into actual talent? Well, it's all about building what they call a talent pipeline, a system designed to just churn out the innovators and technicians who are going to power China's AI future.
Think of it like a giant 3-stage conveyor belt. It all starts with a super wide foundation in K-12, getting every single kid exposed to computational thinking. Then you move to specialization at the university level, where students can really go deep on AI. And finally, and this is so crucial, you have a third tier, vocational schools, training millions of technicians, the hands-on workforce you absolutely need to make the whole ecosystem work.
So what are these kids actually doing in the classroom? Well, in primary school, it's all about making tech fun and accessible. Think block-based coding with stuff like Scratch and building simple robots. By junior middle school, they're stepping it up to text-based coding in Python. And by senior high school, they are tackling actual machine learning concepts and even competing in national AI competitions. It's a ladder, and they're climbing it step by step.
And get this, the scale we're talking about at the university level is it's staggering. In only a few years, more than 500 universities in China have rolled out bachelor's degrees in AI. This isn't some slow, gradual change. It's a flood, a massive, coordinated flood of investment to scale up expertise and fast.
So all of this sets up a really fascinating comparison, right? You've got two global superpowers, both aiming for the same thing, AI leadership, but they're taking completely different paths to get there. So let's put the Chinese and American approaches side by side. Let's break down these key differences. When you look at governance, China is all about that centralized, top-down control, which lets them move with incredible speed and at a massive scale. The US, it's decentralized, more bottom-up, driven by individual companies and universities. China also leverages its massive, integrated population for a huge data and talent advantage, while America's talent pool is more fragmented. The link to industry in China is seamless. It's actively encouraged by the state. In the US, it's definitely strong, but often more informal. And this last one is huge, curriculum. China is laser-focused on applied, practical skills, while the US often puts more emphasis on theoretical, deep research.
And really, if you're going to take away one thing, it's this difference in governance. It is so crucial. China's state-driven machine can roll out a unified strategy across the entire country, practically overnight. The American system, on the other hand, it thrives on a more organic, bottom-up energy, relying on the dynamism of its universities, its private sector, and local school districts to pave the way.
But, is this top-down master plan perfect? Not at all. Let's take a look at the potential cracks in that blueprint, the hurdles that suggest China's path to dominance isn't quite a sure thing.
And that leads us to the classic million-dollar question that hangs over any system like this. When you optimize everything for scale and for perfect execution,
do you accidentally end up stifling that unpredictable, out-of-the-box creativity, that little spark of genius that leads to the biggest breakthroughs?
So experts point to a few big potential roadblocks here. First, there's the creativity gap, the worry that a super rigid, test-focused system might not produce the next truly world-changing idea, like the transformer architecture that powers things like ChatGPT. There's still a brain drain problem, with some of the very top talent leaving for opportunities in other countries. The system's rigidity, while great for implementation, could also make it slow to pivot if some crazy new technology suddenly appears. And of course, its approach to ethics and privacy around AI is, well, it's coming from a very different place than Western norms.
All right, so when you step back and look at the big picture, it's probably best to see this not just as a competition. It's more like two profoundly different bets on how you win the future of technology.
One of the sources we looked at put it just perfectly. It captures the whole strategy. China isn't trying to play the same game as the US. The goal is to build a system that is so vast, so integrated, and so totally aligned with its national goals that it can just overwhelm a competitor that's relying on a totally different way of innovating.
And that right there, that's the fundamental bet China is making, plain and simple. They are wagering that in the long run, the disciplined, systematic production of talent on an absolutely immense scale will ultimately prove more powerful than a system that relies on the random, brilliant sparks of decentralized individual genius.
So I'll leave you with that question. In this race to lead the AI revolution, who's got the winning hand? Is it the agile, sometimes chaotic, decentralized innovator? Or is it the disciplined, massive, unified system? The answer to that question is going to define the world for all of us.